Good evening. We are now in hour number 33. Hour number 33 of 36 hours. Can you believe it? Huh, I can. So let's do this. We're going to have some fun. We've been having fun. Oh my goodness, have we been having fun? We've been having fun. So let's continue the fun. What do you guys say?
This is a tour of love, an international event, 36 hours streaming live on the E360 TV platform, beaming the vibe of love around the world to audiences of all ages, all nations, with the intention of changing the way cancer is done. This is the CB4L Buddies Network, and we are healing through connections. So get on the bus, get ready, and let's welcome the tour of love.
Welcome, Poe, to the tour of love. Once again, what do you think? How is it going?
Oh my gosh, it's going great. I've been tuning in, and I'll sleep a few hours, jump up and watch in the middle of the night, and you have just been rocking it, and your team has been amazing. And the level of what it's, having been there the first year with 24 hours, and then you did 36 hours, and now another 36 hours. But the level of this being a tour of love and taking it to a platform like E360 and reaching all the different venues, and then the people, the quality of the people from everyday stories that are just, so compelling to, you got Melissa Manchester coming up after this. So, and then Mikey and that last story with Emmanuel, I've got chill bumps all the way down to my ankles as I talk about that. That was so powerful.
I love him. I told him I was adopting him. He's like, okay, you got a wineries around there? Okay, yeah.
I got a feeling he's been adopted by a lot of women that just fall in love with him. He's amazing. And Mikey, just the heart and the other people he brought on that were phenomenal.
The Duns and BP and then Steve, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But going back to the mission here, I got involved because I had cancer, over 10 years ago, and then we met when you were talking about developing a nonprofit, because I was at the same group with people and trying to develop my own nonprofit, perhaps, and supporting everybody. And being that I had cancer, when you told your story, boy, could I connect with that. We talked a little bit earlier with Misty and so forth, but how needed that is, and how you have been burning that candle at both ends because you believe, and many times there are things you could have done, which I've brought up and said, and you said, there are people that depend on this. There are people that they may have stage 4 cancer. They may be all alone, and we are here for them. And you have done that. And so, and that's out of love. And it's out of shifting the fear factor from when, it being in chemo and being told, like I got that call, and you just said earlier, how many people are going to get that call? I remember it like it was yesterday. And to try to move from fear to being, as Barbara calls it, a cancer conqueror and a buddy for other people who are going through that, who have the call, and to be able to raise that vibration to love is phenomenal. And so I want to say, you've been spreading the love and with PB, I think it was there with Mikey and the son and so many people, and the community giving the love out. I want to tell you, this would not happen, and we wouldn't be doing this, and all these people wouldn't be showing up if it wasn't for the love they feel for you, and the admiration and the faith and the belief that you are making a difference around the world. You've got people from everywhere showing up, and you've started a love movement. And it wouldn't have started without you and becoming very, talk about a epidemic, pandemic. It's of love, and I want you to just
real fear too. This is from Amy. I had to stop because I'm like, That's not lean.
A root beer. That's right. There's a lot of root beer stuff. And that purple pin thing, that little video was just so impressive. It's like, yeah. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. That was very impressive.
The one with the
hot air balloon and everything.
Yeah, that was me.
The purple pin. Unbelievable. Yeah. That was really great. Good job. Good job.
I'm learning. I keep asking, okay, what did you think? And you tell me. So then I learned.
And I remember having these conversations back after we first met at that conference, and you were talking about, video and all that, and it was all brand new to you. And look at you now,
brand new, absolutely brand new, absolutely had never done it, never.
Yep. But we all go through experiences, and we all had that experience, that cancer experience, as you did and I did, and a lot of these people who are part of this. And of course, you introduced me as Poe, which everybody knows me as Skip Thomas, and so like, what's the Poe thing about? And again, Skip Thomas was kind of career and filmmaking and whatever I did, and that was great. But when I was told I was going to have a granddaughter, my daughter said, "What do you want to be called? Papa, Grandpa?" It's like, oh hell no, that sounds like an old person. I want to be somebody like a cartoon character like Barney.
I don't get that one. Purple dinosaur. You want to be the purple dinosaur.
Well, but just something fun, I love you, you love me. I mean, that's not a grandpa song. That's a Barney song. So I was like, what can I be? And I said, well, how about Skippo? It's kind of like hippo. It's like, and so she said, okay, that's what it is. Well, I didn't realize that a 2-year-old can't say Skippo, so she just shortened it to Poe.
Poe.
So that's where Poe came from.
Well, I need to tell you something from the team. Yes. They say your videos are ready to go.
Okay. Well, let's start with the first one here in just a second. Let me introduce it. It's kind of funny because when we got involved, Erin talked about her favorite film, and it's on Gaia TV, and it really had to do with my journey of leaving the Skip Thomas experience and finding out a connection and my ancestral heritage of Cherokee and getting into the indigenous Native Americans, and then also bridging that gap with spirituality, as Emmanuel was talking about. So connecting to our roots, nature, and our spirituality. And so soon after Erin found out that, she said, you did that film? Oh my God, that's my favorite film. And what that was my own really spiritual growth. And it was during the production of this movie that I was told I had cancer, and basically backed out of the movie until I knew if I was going to make it, because my prognosis wasn't good. And they held off on the production until I came out of all my surgeries and treatment, and we finished the movie. So what you're about to see is called Sacred Journey of the Heart. We can roll it whenever you're ready there, Barbara.
Okay. Sacred Journey of the Heart.
The new frontier of human evolution is one that connects us in a deep and meaningful way.
What were our ancestors trying to tell us? What did they know that we've forgotten?
The children on the planet are asking us to wake up.
So what is the greatest expression of myself that I can be today?
Your heart stopped for a second.
Journey much deeper into my heart than I ever wanted to go.
Growing up, I was like every child, but my path took me in a little bit different direction.
You can't heal what you don't feel.
To lift the spirit above the pressure, to melt the ice in the heart.
You have to get to people's fears. Why is the heart closed?
That's created the greatest gift of all, this balance between giving and receiving love.
The heart has access to a field of information that is not bound by time and space.
No other organ has the power to communicate with the essence of the stuff that holds this universe together.
This is where conventional forgiveness does not go, and the mind can't handle it.
I learned to love my past, and in doing that, create a new present.
I see a new day. I see a land without illusions.
So the spiritual traditions, then tell us how to apply what the science is confirming.
We are deeply and profoundly interconnected with the earth, from life to death.
We really do know each other's hearts.
There's no limit to who we are and what we can do.
You feel, acknowledge what you feel, and you bring it back to the heart to gain the wisdom from that.
We're on this planet at this time to make a difference, and we've said yes.
The bottom line is the heart's where the action is.
We've only begun. Today is the beginning of forever.
Wowie.
Well, that was quite an experience, and it led me on a journey into my own heart. They say, well, where do you travel and find this? I went through all these different religions and looking for that spiritual connection. And what I realized was it was at the farthest distance I wasn't willing to travel, which was at 18 inches from my head to my heart. And part of the experience during making this film for myself and the producers you saw in this was actually connecting to our heart, because that was not the intention when we set out to do that movie. It was something totally different. And we were traveling the world and doing a whole different project. But because of what happened in the journey, it connected us to our hearts and to really the essence of love and forgiveness, and connecting to everything around us and understanding the power that we have with love, and especially in offsetting what's going on in the world, what's going on with cancer patients. And so that process led me back to, values of community and family and roots. And so after being in Sedona, Arizona for 12 years, when I was doing this, I thought I got to come back home to Arkansas. This is where my ancestry, my Native American Cherokee great-great-grandfather was a Cherokee chief and on the Trail of Tears, and this is where he was, and had family here, and came up here and back after college and built log cabins with my uncle for a little while. And this cabin here was our first practice cabin that we almost tore down about a year ago. And I said, no, it's got soul. I've got to work on this thing. So I'm sitting in this log cabin that was built some 40 years ago. And this little town of Mountain View, Arkansas, is the folk capital of the world. And the music people that come through here, and that's a big part of my life, is music and film, of moving people like Juju and all the people, so many amazing musicians that you've had on the show. But the community of playing music, because it was only a small town of a couple thousand people, we started gathering and we get together, and that's our event, is to share and play music together. And so some of the things I want to share in this hour is about connection of community, which is a big thing with what you've got here in Chemo Buddies and reaching so many people around the world, is developing a community of love and sharing that vibration. And for us here, a lot of that was the earth and this beautiful environment, but playing music in this environment. And so one of the next little pieces I want to share is one of the dear friends, back when I came up here in college, I got to know Jimmy Driftwood. He was here, and I got to sit in his house and play, and he wrote 6,000 songs, Tennessee Stud, Battle of New Orleans, and just tons of songs that a lot of people have done. And he brought a family in to help start a center here of music, and that was Grandpa and Ramona Jones from Hee Haw. And so I was in my early 20s, and Elisa Jones, she was a teenager, and she and I became dear friends. And her brother Mark Jones, who's actually on the board, the Grandpa Jones family had a dinner theater here. And actually my uncle that built this log cabin, and others here, built their dinner theater. It was like a log cabin. And the song, and so being together, there were times in this field right here that we would have 50 or 60 musicians around a fire singing. And a lot of them would be names you'd recognize, but it was community through music. And we were all, in essence, neighbors. And so this next little piece is a song called Neighbors that a guy, Charlie, who lives here, wrote this song, and Grandpa Ramona Jones played it on Hee Haw, and they passed away. And part of what I wanted to share was how important not only music has been in my life, but the people who I got to share music with and who really changed my life because of music and community. And so this next piece is Grandpa and Ramona Jones and their daughter, Elisa, singing a song called Neighbors, was written here by a person locally. So whenever you're ready.
Ramona and their daughter, Elisa.
Choose your friends for their power, trade your love for their gold. It seems like a sign of the times, but some folks remember what neighbors are for, and some of them are neighbors of mine. I have lived among some good and gentle people. I have walked in a strong, growing land. I have sung songs I know I will hear once again, being sung by some heavenly band. Building cities of steel, building highways of stone, we forgot what this good earth is for. But somewhere there's land that's still held in God's hand, and some of it lies near my door. I have lived among some good and gentle people. I have walked in a strong, growing land. I have sung songs I know I will hear once again, being sung by some heavenly band. I hear sounds every day of a world going wrong. I hear talk of the times left behind, but a long summer's night full of fiddles and song is a sound that I hold in my mind. I have lived among some good and gentle people. I have walked in a strong, growing land. I have sung songs I know I will hear once again, being sung by some heavenly band. I have sung songs I know I will hear once again, being sung by some heavenly band.
But yeah, so that's Ramona and Elisa and Grandpa Jones, who very dear people and family, and just the values. Do you have anything you want to ask, or keep moving? You're good? Oh, I don't hear you. Can you hear me okay? I don't hear you. You may be mute. Are you muted?
Yeah, I'm muted. I said, no, I'm good. I'm just kind of saving my voice right this second. Let's see, 1, 2. And so I was just checking to see if anybody had any questions. Oh, nope.
Maywood 50th Street, right here in Maywood, Illinois.
All right. This here is, we'll continue on. This is a song. One of the people here who started coming as a teenager is, we'll let it play. This is a song I wrote for
my dad used to put the radio out here and said, here with a quart of beer. This is a house I grew up in, located on Maywood's busiest street, right here in Maywood, Illinois. Okay. I was singing, I'm going to start singing that to the workers around saying how lucky go a man get.
John Prine.
For 40-some years or more, a best friend I'd never met always came with a song I'd need on a record or an old cassette. At the foot of all glory that awakened the dawn's early light, John Prine love letters, what's wrong and what's right.
I always used to do this apparently.
As time stopped breathing, a wink from the passenger side, we knew he was in heaven long before he died. We blew up our TV, found Jesus all on our own. There's a hole in Daddy's arm, Sam Stone. If heartaches were commercials, we'd all be on TV. Give my knees to the needy, don't pull that shit on me. If you're walking down the street sometime, spot some Norwegian eyes, don't just pass them by and stare, say hello. And now you say goodbye, feeling naked as the eyes of a clown. It's just a half of inch of water, and I know I'm gonna drown. At the foot of oh glory, waking the dawn's early light. John Prine, love letters, what's wrong and what's right. John Prine, love letters, what's wrong and what's right.
These words my daddy said. He said, buddy, when you're dead a dead peckerhead. I hope to prove him wrong. That is, when I get to heaven, because I'm going to have a kind of day. Vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm going to kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. Cause this old man is going into town. Where's those kazoos? Yeah-da-da. Be-da-da-ba-doo-boo-boo. Be-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ski-da-da-ba-doo-boo-boo. Be-da-da-da-da. Be-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thanks, Joey.
That's, of course, John Prine. And John was a very close friend of the families here. He came ever since he was a teenager out of Chicago, and then he was in Nashville. But he came here every year, sometimes several times a year, to fish, and stayed at my actually family's fishing resort that's on the White River. And humble and you know, songs been done by Bette Midler and Bonnie Raitt, and I mean, just on. And even Bob Dylan said he's probably one of the best songwriters ever. And he, and when I was in college and started hearing his songs, and he was here playing and invited people to bring their guitars down. And his philosophy of life really changed my life in the music. And one of the favorite songs, which I've done on the Close group, was one of his songs that was my grandmother's favorite song.
I know which one you're talking about. Yep. Okay.
And so so it was one of his songs, and she was dying of cancer, and I was like 20 years old, and so I was seeing her for the last time on her deathbed, and she, we had a favorite song. We talked, we cried, we held each other. It was just, and I was about to leave, and she says, "Do you have your guitar?" And I said, "Yes, it's in the car." And she said, "Well, go get it." I said, let's do our favorite song. And I said, "Oh no, we can't do that song." It's like, she said, "Go get your goddamn guitar and bring it in here. We're going to do our favorite song." I thought, oh shit. So we did. And I don't really have time to go into it, but it's the song is called "Please Don't Bury Me," and it's about cut me up and pass me all around kind of thing. It's a funny song, but so many songs and old people. I got to play with Grandpa Jones and about and Bette Midler did it on her show called "Hello in There." Just a beautiful song. And but he passed away of COVID this past year. And when he died and I got word, I cried. I was up all night, and I thought I got to do something. And so I wrote that song and produced that video all within 24 hours. I thought, I've just got to do something in honor of him. And he's been right here where this cabin is, fishing on the creek that's right here in front. And so it's about, love, and it's about really that energy that really shapes our lives, no matter what falls away. I could lose houses, jobs, cars, wives, and I have all those, but that love of connection never goes away, and that's what he represented. And so I want to shift gears a little bit, and because I've got a couple of little quick videos here that you'll remember well. And because I'm here in the holler and in Arkansas, and it's kind of had some fun. We had do a festival here, a music festival, 42nd annual festival that didn't happen because of COVID. And there was an alien abduction kind of thing. But before we show that one, there's one here that is, you remember last year I came on, I think it was hour 31. Now it's hour 33. And at the last minute, I thought, oh my God, she's got to be exhausted. I've got to do something. I got to do something to rock her boat. What would it be? So I decided I would be abducted by an alien.
Oh, that was hilarious. Yeah.
Well, let's roll this next one, Barbara, because I got a little clip of that here.
Okay. It's o'clock Pacific time. And yes, our Skip Thomas he's been kidnapped by an alien. he let me know. Okay. We've got a problem. Skip Thomas has been kidnapped by an alien, and we need donations to get him back.
I need nobody. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would like for me to be abducted, but if I got any buddies out there, I need you to really kind of step up and help, donate.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Oh no, is what Aaron's saying. Oh no. Donate, please help Skip. Barbara.
Donate. Donate.
Donate.
Donate.
We could have done a whole gig on this. Look at you. You look like his women.
worse than that. This is worse than cancer.
Oh boy. Well, but seriously, we actually did have an alien abduction, and this next little clip, which you played in the closed group, but let's have some fun with it here. You'll get to see where I live, the little holler and the log cabin I'm restoring, and just kind of a slice of what it's like to be in a field where you have a music festival, and sure enough, aliens show up.
Hate it when that happens. They got your number.
If you got that one, if you got that one, Barbara, that's the next alien version. I think it's number 4.
It was a typical day in the Ozark Mountains near Mountain View, Arkansas, at the 41st annual Full Festival campout. Until they came.
Yeah, it gets a little boring when you're down here in the hills of the holler, just up the road from Skunk Holler and Pickles Gap and Toadsuck, Arkansas, and there's not a whole lot of activity, so you kind of have to make things up as you can. And I got those costumes in the day before that festival. And I thought, oh my God, we got to do something with these, and so it's just what kind of flows when you kind of lose your mind or dip into that zone of creativity. But yeah, you remember it well. But that abduction thing was so fun because I thought, okay, you are just got to be so tired after 31 hours, and so we had a lot of fun with that. But I may want to skip this next one. We'll see how we doing on time. I think we've got I've got Sabrina, who you had a video earlier of her in the fashion business, and she is and she was a singer. She'd been with Steven Tyler on stage, Chuck Berry, but she did a lot of fashion design. And I have been friends with her for probably 15 years. And I called her up to do a gathering, a music event where I flew in 25 different Native American groups of Navajo and Hopi, and then we brought in an R&B band that were friends of mine, and we tried to merge cultures with using music as a connective piece. And so we did this on a big floating stage, and I brought in a group of people, including producers. Actually, the people that did the nonprofit coaching was how I met them. They came and helped. But Sabrina came and helped, and she actually stayed there at the ranch where I was for about 8 months, and we worked and wrote songs together. And she ended up kind of living that high jet set life. And as she wanted to connect with things of substance and of her her ancestry, and her mom would come and visit, who raised her, and she was born in Haiti. And we kept talking like, Sabrina, you don't look Haitian. You're not, and so I asked her mom, I said, have you told her the truth? And she said, Sabrina, I got to tell you something. And like, Sabrina's like, oh my God, what? He says, you're actually Taino, which I had never heard of with Native American or indigenous tribes. And Taino that was the tribe that Columbus met when he first came. And they were from that Caribbean southern area there near Cuba. But suddenly she realized she was Native American. So she dropped everything, shedded everything in her life, and she went up to the reservations in South Dakota, and she started for months working with women, empowering women. You saw the t-shirts, and she called it the Love Tour. And so I told her, I said, I've got to have you involved somehow and mention you in this tour of love, because it speaks so much to what your passion is. And she's torn in between this big career of glitz and glamour and jet set to really being kind of hands in the dirt, serving people. So she's an amazing story. And I think we'll skip her video because it's about 4 minutes. And in the interest of time, I jumped to another friend, a singer who's named Melissa, and she also is an amazing person who she's a single mother of 5. She's worked in spas and various things in the health, but she's very connected to healing. And she decided, she never really sang much. I said, you sing in a choir? Or did you sing, even just for fun? And she said, no, not until about 6 years ago. And she's been offered contracts and various things since then, but she has become a very good friend, and she is on a mission to basically use music in a loving, healing kind of environment. So Barbara, if we could jump to, I think it's video number 6, and you've played it earlier. It's called I See Fire. And what it represents really is, here we are in this COVID situation, and it seems like things are burning, and yes, it is, and there's a lot of fear, but let's shift that to love and make it a fire of love. And this is Melissa.
Keep careful watch of my brother's soul, and should the sky be filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over all of my sons. If this is to end in fire, then we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames burn up and on the mountainside. Oh, should burn tonight, and we should all burn together. Raise a glass of wine for the last time, calling out Father Road. Prepare as we will watch the flames burn over and over the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire following souls, and I see fire, blood in the breeze, and I hope that you remember me. Who should my people fall? Then surely I'll do the same. Confined in mountain halls, we got too close to the flame. Calling out Father Road. Prepare as we will watch the flames burn over and over the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning in the trees, and I see fire following souls, and I see fire, blood in the breeze, and I hope that you remember me. And if the night is burning, I will cover my eyes. Or if the dark returns, then my brothers will die. And as the sky is falling down, it crashed into the smaller town. And with the shadow upon the ground, I hear my people screaming out. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire following souls, and I see fire.
So that's Melissa, and she had just recorded this song earlier this year, and with all that was going on, she asked me, said, would you help me produce a video message that would help and be a little bit inspiring? I listened to the song. I thought, well, okay, what can we do here? And basically it really does kind of flow from that point of it being, a fear situation of what we're all facing, and perhaps a lot of unrest as to what's really happening, but then shifting that to a flame of love and gratitude and faith and joy. And that's really the place that we're at with turning the corner. We've heard a lot of people talk about, we heard Juju, which interestingly is going to be next, but the little piece that we did, but how we're at a place where we're turning the corner and we're shifting the energy on the planet. And we are literally, and Candace, who was who'd been on one of the earlier ones, White Light, who is involved with Frequencies of the Earth on Facebook. Many of you people, Joy and Aaron, are all members of that. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I was the moderator for that site. And what is happening is a shift of frequency. And even though it seems uncomfortable and somewhat fearful, we're shifting to a higher frequency, a higher consciousness, a higher vibration. That may sound woo-woo, but if you listen to Candace, there's a lot of science behind it. Just like in the Sacred Journey of the Heart, that gut feeling or that sense you have from the heart, there's science behind that. And that's what the Institute of Heart Math that I got to film with those people that are amazing. And as Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza, the ancestors knew this all along, and they're right. Science is now proving it. Well, we're entering a time where shifting that vibration to love and this movement and using the power of music and film and collective heartfelt energy that we send out into this field and to the earth really works. It's like the power of prayer really works. And we've seen it with our own community of having moments of silence and praying. And we've seen things turn around that seemed hopeless. And so with, and I mentioned Juju, she was a co-host and an inspiration and somebody who has been very much of a guidance for me. And I want to say it intuition or intuitive in helping me in many areas, but intuitive or intuition even isn't strong enough. She has kind of a higher state of awareness and knowingness that is just off the chart, and her musical talent. And of course, she was a part of writing the song that was in the opening with the other group, and that was magnificent. And I couldn't be a part of that because I had so much editing and things to get ready for this. But just a few days ago, like 2 days, what was it, yesterday? It was, oh my God. It was like, I sent me a video and said, can you do a soft version with me singing it? Just you and I. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to learn a new song and sing it. And she's so good. I was so intimidated. But we did the We Are the Ones video. And so what I'd like to share now, Barbara, is the next, this little video. I think it's number 7 of Juju and I. And just, I mean, a quick approach of just her and I doing a soft version of We Are the Ones.
Stronger than sadness. Together we are stronger than cancer. Together we are stronger. We are one. We are love. We are hope. We are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are one. We are love. We are hope. We are the ones to change the world with our hearts. Human hope, heart, heart, love, love, love. Human hope, heart, heart, love, love, love. Human hope, heart, heart, love, love, love. Human hope, heart, heart, love. We are one. We are love. We are hope. We are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are one. We are love. We are hope. We are the ones who change the world with our hearts. We are the ones that change the world with our hearts.
And that was beautiful, and I was honored to do that. We got about 8 minutes left, and I want to jump right to the next one because that's the one you'd asked about that I wrote for last year's, and it was about the buddies, and and Barbara Beckley, who's pushing the buttons there, held up a card when you guys were. She was hosting the inner circle group. Said, "I can, we will." I thought that's the song. And so
there comes a time I look to the sky, rainbow appears and I wonder why. I see your face above the clouds, your whispers heard among the crowds. So if you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. Sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. There's a reason, now's the time. Rivers to swim, mountains to climb. I'll hold your hand and we'll reach the shore. Shine a light for all to an open door. So if you're asking if I've been cold, I have. Who can stand within the storm? I can. Sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. When they told me I felt so alone, to be on this journey I'd be on my own. Do I tell those I love, let go the memories yet undreamed of? So if you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, I will. One may block my way, climb and build a better day. I can. We will. If you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. Sea to sea reaching, hand to hand. We are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. I can, we will.
And that little slow part was when I found out I had cancer, and do I, tell those I love. And so it was I kind of internalized when I finished the song and wrote it for the buddies at the end of last year's event. The last song I don't think we have time. It's 3.5 minutes long. So we'll maybe, if you have later in the show, it's really a Christmas song I wrote. It's a family, and Christmas seems so far removed from the way it used to be. And I know we'll get back to that, but it's a Christmas wish song about family. And it's really a wish to everyone for Christmas, which is right around the corner. And it's going to be very different than in the past, but maybe later toward the end, if there is or not. But anyway, I'm grateful to be there. And I just want anybody watching, this is about getting people signed up and be a buddy. Reach out and help mentor, or if you're in need, or if you can support and be a sponsor, if you can donate, if you can volunteer. This movement is turned into a global movement, and it's a movement of love, not just the year of love, but as she said, the decade of love. And I just really want to honor all the people that are showing up to support you, Tamara, out of love, because we wouldn't have this opportunity if it wasn't for you. So thank you, and God bless you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And I love the version. It's beautiful, and everything that you presented right now. And thank you for being mainline sponsor with Amplifying Truth and everything you've done. We really, your skill, your leadership, your everything that you've done to teach us all to be better at what we're doing. It's an amazing opportunity, and I appreciate you so very much. And we have a very big show for the next hour, so I've got to go. I'm going to close this one down. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Aaron, for working in there. And let's go into the next one. And you are, Poe, you'll be around to play the Christmas song towards the last?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'll be
All right.
here. All right.
Okay.